Hi, I'm Colton DeBiase, and welcome back to another edition of the Pioneer Spotlight, the interview show where we give you an inside look at Point Park Athletics. And today I am with the head of Point Park Athletics. He is the athletic director here at Point Park University, Mr. John Ashaolu. John, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, John. So first, it's been an exciting and a busy time here at Point Park as we have all of our teams out there competing amid the pandemic, and also basketball is about to start. So what has been your main focus to get through it all as we all go through these crazy times?
Just continuing to talk to my coaches, communicate different things that come up, different processes and protocols that have been put in place every day, because one day to another things change. Also just telling our coach to be flexible. Coaches are creatures of habit. They like doing things a certain way year in, year out, but this year is definitely different. So just, communicating with them and preaching to them to be flexible and different things that we're asking of them, because we know it's not what they're used to, and sometimes it's not conducive to, getting their teams through what they need to get through, whether it's practice, whether it's drills, things of that nature. So just continue to just, work with them and just, tell them how flexible we need to be, and also just tell them that I appreciate them, for the job they're doing amid the pandemic, amid all the different changes that's been thrown at them.
What have been some of the protocols that your coaches have had to adapt to?
I mean, one of the things is, just wearing a mask, while you're either instructing as a coach or having your student athletes wear a mask while they're, participating in strenuous activities. Those things are not what you're used to. We screen our student athletes. Part of our protocols, we screen our student athletes every single day. So that's another thing that, you have to make time for as a coach. You're just not concentrating on practices or games now. You have to make sure you're setting time apart to screen each and every one of your student athletes before every practices and before you leave for games. So, there's just a lot of things that's been thrown at them, but just, things that are not normal for athletics year in and year out, things that as a coach you don't have to worry about any of the years. Those are some of the things that are in place that, that it's a little bit difficult and a little bit different that they have to take time out to do.
Has there been anything else that has had to be in place this year to make sure things go safely and healthy for everybody involved in the athletic department?
Just over communication. There's a lot of people that we need to talk to, and a lot of times we need to always, reiterate things. So, we're constantly talking to our team doctors, and on a yearly basis, I probably talk to them maybe once or twice during the year, but this year it's like almost every week. Making sure my coaches, student athletes, athletic trainers, and even the university student health office, making sure that we're all communicating. And again, that's something that usually doesn't happen on a year-to-year basis. It's like, our coaches are working with their trainers and vice versa, that's it. But this year we have to always continue to involve our team doctor, also involve the university student health center. So, that's just something new that we're trying to get used to doing that.
Do you think it has been a positive that all of the fall teams have been able to go out there and compete this season?
Yeah, I think so. I think, for our student athletes, this is what they've been doing ever since they picked up a ball or, picked up their sport from when they were very young. So, they came here to be student athletes, and we're providing an opportunity. I mean, it has not worked out as far as any other year that they've been a student athlete, but I think we're still providing some sense of normalcy for them to be able to continue to do what they're doing, what they came here to do, which is also to be a student and also to be an athlete. So yeah, I think when we're thinking about the overall picture, if it is good for the students and the student athletes, yes, I think it is. Again, I think they're enjoying it. They've spoken to myself many times and to their coaches how they appreciate that we're still giving them the opportunity to compete as student athletes.
And now you are in your third year as the athletic director here at Point Park. And last year and this year have been anything but ordinary, with what has gone on this past spring and in the fall. So how would you sum up your time at Point Park so far?
It's been exciting. It's been, just, again, I've been other places as an athletic director. I haven't had to deal with a pandemic before, but I think it comes with the territory. So it's been exciting 3 years. Things are always changing. I think that we're continuing to elevate the athletic program within the area and within the university. There's a lot of neat and different things that we're doing for our student athletes and for the athletic department. I think again the athletic department is going to be the front porch to the university, and I think we're constantly representing the university in the right way. So it's been great. It's been a great 3 years. In my third year, it's been a great 2 years here. Learned a lot of things. People here, at the university, very friendly, easy to get along with. So yeah, it's been a really really good 3 years. I'm looking forward to more.
Yeah, what has been your favorite part about being the athletic director here at Point Park?
I think just how close knit everybody is. Your student athletes. We have almost 400 student athletes. When you talk about the faculty members, I've gotten to know a couple of the faculty members who work well, who work really closely with our student athletes. The administration. This is the first university I've been in where constantly, speaking with the president. President Hennigan is easy to talk to, easy to approach. He's in tune with our athletic program. So I just like how connected everybody is, how close knit everybody is. Everybody works well together. You get to know people on a day-to-day basis. Even right down to our housekeeping staff that help us out in the student center and keep the student center clean. And even those guys are guys that we've gotten to know each other. So yeah, just the close knit of the university is one of my favorite things about being here.
What are some things that you like to emphasize to your coaches and student athletes that are here at Point Park, and maybe some students that have maybe interest in coming to play here?
I just think that first of all, being part of NAIA is a great opportunity. NAIA is always for student athletes. It's not the rules is not as stringent as the NCAA, so it gives a lot of different opportunities, a lot more opportunities to student athletes. Point Park itself, just our location is great for being a student athlete. I think as a person that's a father, as myself, I have a daughter that's a sophomore student athlete at a college, and one of the things I looked for when she was trying to choose where she wanted to go was a place where she'd be able to maximize herself, on the court and also in the classroom, and also help prepare herself, for what's next, obviously getting a job. So I think being at Point Park gives you the best of both worlds. You get to be part of a really good athletic program where, all our teams are always competing each year for the conference championships, but you're also able to connect with your faculty members who are professionals in their career. So you get a lot of internship opportunities. A lot of our faculty members have those connections with people in their industry and in their field to help our students move on and be able to get a career in whatever field they're looking at. So just the location is great, and nothing beats coming out of class or coming out of an office or coming out of a meeting and you're right smack downtown in the middle of everything. So just all of that together is what I would kind of sell to prospective student athletes and our current student athletes too.
Going back to some of those rules that you mentioned that are different with the NCAA and the NAIA, what are some of those rules where the NAIA stands out rather than the NCAA?
Well, I think the eligibility rules, it's, with NCAA, and not that this is negative, but, there's a lot of, different blocks or, roadblocks in your way to be eligible. I think the NAIA makes it a little bit easier for student athletes to gain eligibility and also to continue eligibility. So that's why, sometimes you have a lot of student athletes that might have went to NCAA school and then transferred to NAIA school and are still able to continue on and with their eligibility and continue on with their athletics. So that's one of the big things when you just went. One of the first things you notice in terms of when you're a student athlete looking at NCAA and NAIA, it is a little bit easier to be eligible to play sports at the NAIA level. Another thing that I think just NAIA is always just looking at different ways to provide opportunities for student athletes. They're trying to always make their championship events a little bit better, trying to always get more exposure for the championship events. I just feel like it's easier to stand out in your sport at the NAIA level than the NCAA level.
Shifting over to a little bit about yourself, can you maybe tell us a little bit more about the places that you were at before you came here to Point Park?
Okay, quite a couple of places. I started off at a community college in Texas called Trinity Valley Community College. I worked there on the men's basketball staff immediately after graduating from Xavier University of Louisiana, which is an NAIA school. So my first stop was in Athens, Texas, a small town right outside of Dallas, Texas. From there, I went to Duquesne University, worked on the men's basketball staff there. After that, I was at East Carolina University. Worked there, great place. Greenville, North Carolina was a really great place to be, to live, and to also work. From there, I was started off in my athletic administration career. Started off at a high school not too far from Point Park University, Seton LaSalle High School. I was director of athletics there for a couple of years. From there, I made the move to the college level. Worked at Community College of Beaver County. Made a quick stop over at Community College of Allegheny County, and then landed here at Point Park University.
Could you maybe tell us a little bit about your experience, like working in those Division I programs such as Duquesne and East Carolina? Because it seems like that was a cool opportunity for you to get that Division I experience in the NCAA.
Yeah, that was a really great opportunity. You know, it exposed you to a lot at that level. It's a little bit of a higher level, but exposed you to a lot. It's just you know, one of the things I always took away from there is just the power of having a football team. At East Carolina University, having a football team, you know, just changed the landscape of your athletic program. You know, the year I was there was a very successful athletic football program, and that just filters to the other program. Because of the success of the football team, the men's basketball team was able to, you know, charter to most games. So now, you know, as opposed to flying commercial, we're able to charter flights to most of our games because the football team generated so much revenue. So at that level, it's so much more revenue based, and a football team definitely helps to that. And just being able to, you know, be around that level, be able to be around coaches that are at that level, was also neat. Being able to learn from coaches at that level. So yeah, those were one of the biggest takeaways from, you know, being able to work at Division I level.
Did you specifically work in the basketball department or just the athletics
I
department?
worked in the East Carolina basketball department, Duquesne University basketball department. Yeah,
Okay.
I was on the basketball staff. Yes.
Okay. And so looking ahead to the future of a Point Park Athletics, what are some things that you would like to see the department achieve over these next couple of years?
Well, I think that, you know, being consistent winners is one of the things I like to do. I think all our programs are winners, but I think that, you know, being a power, you know, for example, when you look at the ACC for men's basketball, you know, you think about Duke University, you think about University of North Carolina. That's kind of what I want to emulate with Point Park University in all of our sports. Baseball program is a storied program here. We've been very successful the last couple of years. Men's basketball is, you know, used to be one of the flagship programs in the conference. I think we're making our way back. You know, the last 2 years have been doing really, really well each year. Women's basketball, same thing, volleyball, softball. So I think, you know, continue to elevate the levels of our program. I think that's definitely what I want to see. You know, because of the pandemic that's going on right now, we can't do this, but one of the things that I wanted to engage our student athletes more in more community service. I think that's going to help us kind of, you know, get our face out there and kind of also, you know, get our brand for the university and the athletic department, get that out there. So those are the two of the things that are on my list to kind of elevate the athletic program at Point Park University.
And now knowing that the department added a esports program this year, is there any buffer to maybe add some more sports to the lineup?
Yeah, you know, again, Point Park University prides itself on being innovative. So, talking to President Hannigan, Dean Palo, they're always open to any ideas. That's a great thing about them. You know, so anything that's viable that we can put out there. I mean, not too many universities have a varsity esports team, and when that was brought up, you know, those guys were all ears, and we went through with the planning. So yeah, there's always room to add more sports. You know, if it's viable, if we have common opponents, if other teams in our conference have those sports, so where we're not traveling so far to have to play those games or those matches. Yeah, I think there's always room. You know, we're at 18 sports right now, but I could see us definitely adding more. You know, one thing I would like to add a lacrosse team, but you know, teams in our conference don't have those teams yet. So yeah, definitely want to add more sports. I want to definitely get to over 20 is what I want to definitely get to. What those sports are, who knows? But definitely want to get over to 20 at least.
All right, John. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us, and I wish you nothing but the best in your career here at Point Park.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right, so as always, you can follow us on Point Park Sports, where you can follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages, and we thank you for joining us. And for next time, I'm Colton DeBiase.